So not long ago I looked back at the first episode of the Shane O'Mac, Daniel Bryan era of SmackDown Live. So it's only right that I now take a look back at the Raw era under General Manager Mick Foley and Commissioner Stephanie McMahon. Just like I said in the SmackDown Live video, I have fond memories of this period in WWE, so I'm looking forward to revisiting the Red brand and seeing what was happening over there in 2016 in this video. Let's get straight into it. We kick off the show with a recap from Battleground the previous night. In the main event, SmackDown's Dean Ambrose took on Raw's Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. In the end, Ambrose pinned Roman Reigns to take the WWE title over to SmackDown. The show's intro then plays out, which is Enemies by Shinedown. In my opinion, probably one of the last decent theme songs that Monday Night Raw has had. Our commentary team of Michael Cole, Byron Saxton and Corey Graves welcome us to the show and hand things over to the new Raw GM, Mick Foley and Commissioner Stephanie McMahon. Mick Foley says that the first episode of the new era of Monday Night Raw starts here tonight and then calls out the roster to the stage. Stephanie McMahon goes on to bollock Roman Reigns for losing the WWE title match at Battleground and says that our number one draft pick Seth Rollins had it in the bag before you screwed it up for all of us. And as far as Stephanie's concerned, Roman Reigns, you're not a good guy, you're not a bad guy, you're just a loser. Oh, burn. Mick and Steph announced two fatal four-way matches with the two winners facing each other in the main event tonight. The winner of that match will go on to SummerSlam to face the number one draft pick Seth Rollins for the new Universal title. The competitors for the two fatal four-way matches are then announced. Sami Zayn, Sheamus, Chris Jericho, the Swiss Superman Cesaro, Roman Reigns, the United States Champion Rusev, Kevin Owens, and the first draft pick from NXT, Finn Bálor. Stephanie McMahon then asked our Women's Champion Charlotte to step forward. Mick says that last night at Battleground, you competed in an exciting women's tag team match, but you did lose that match by tapping out to Sasha Banks, so tonight you will be defending the title against Banks on Raw. Cesaro makes his way down to the ring, looking less like Bond and more like Statham. How this guy was never a world champion is completely beyond me. Literally one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen. He's followed by Rusev, Kevin Owens and NXT draftee Finn Bálor. This was an absolute fantastic opening bout by all four competitors. I feel like each of these superstars are in their prime here. That's not to say that they're not good anymore, but it feels like everyone is operating at such a high frequency in this match. Cesaro locks in the sharpshooter on Rusev, and it looks like the Swiss Superman is going to advance. Then Kevin Owens super kicks Cesaro, sending him out of the ring. Owens then hits a cannonball in the corner on Rusev. Bálor then kicks KO into Rusev and delivers a sling blade to Owens. Bálor then hits Rusev with a drop kick in the corner, followed by a coup de grace for the win. Finn Bálor advances to the main event. Time for some more action as the debut in Nia Jax takes on Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Well, she was actually just Britt Baker here. As you'd expect, this is just a squash match hyping up the debut in Jax. Nia destroys Britt Baker, eventually hitting her signature leg drop, but instead of getting the easy win, Nia pulls Baker's shoulders up before 3. She then hits her with a headbutt and another leg drop to finally get the win. Sasha Banks is warming up backstage for a match against Charlotte Flair. R-Truth and Goldust then appear to be taking a picture of Banks. When Sasha angrily asks them, "Are you taking a picture of me?" Goldust assures her that they would never do that. They're both playing Pokemon Go. Truth and Goldust then venture off to find a Pikachu. Tom Phillips asks Sasha if she is feeling the pressure for her upcoming title match. She says she thrives on pressure. Tonight she is going to finally beat Charlotte for the women's title and make her dream of being champion come true. It's a new era, and the new era is about to have its first new champion, and she's the boss. Time for our second fatal four-way match of the night. Let's see who will be facing Finn Bálor later on this evening. Will it be Chris Jericho, Sheamus, Sami Zayn or Roman Reigns? Once again, this was a good match. I don't think it was nearly as great as the first fatal four-way, but still very good nonetheless. Jericho and Sheamus partner up for a considerable chunk of this match, but it's still every man for himself in the end. Roman Reigns goes to hit a spear on Jericho, but Y2J counters and hits a codebreaker. He goes for the cover, but only gets a 2. Jericho then mocks Reigns and goes to hit a spear, but it backfires and Roman hits the spear on him to get the victory. Roman Reigns will be facing Finn Bálor in the main event to see who will be going on to SummerSlam to face Seth Rollins for the Universal title. Big E, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, aka The New Day, make their way to the ring for a celebration. Woods tells us that for the past 337 days, The New Day has been your WWE World Tag Team Champions. They all then hand it over to a video package commemorating how they got to where they are now. To further commemorate their 337-day title reign, they say they're going to make one of the lucky fans in attendance an honorary member of The New Day. They pull a man from out the crowd and Big E asks, "What's your name, Sonny Boy?" The man says, "Sonny Boy." There's then a bit of a back and forth trying to find out what the man's real name is, but it turns out his official birth name is actually Sonny Boy. Sonny Boy and The New Day get a New Day Rocks chant going, before Gallows and Anderson come down and attack all the members and hit a magic killer on Big E. They then attack Woods and Kofi some more on the outside, ripping off some of their ring gear. Gallows and Anderson then go over to Sonny Boy, who is back in the crowd. Gallows blows his nose on the ring gear and throws it at Sonny Boy. The pair then throw up that Too Sweet. Next, JoJo introduces us to Mr. Irrelevant Curtis Axel. Michael Cole informs us that Mr. Irrelevant means that Axel was the last picked man in the draft. Axel says, "Yeah, I was picked last, but I'm not irrelevant. They saved the best till last." Yeah, sure they did, mate. Tonight, Axel is taking on the man that gravity forgot, Neville, who is returning from injury. This match was a decent enough bout, with Axel surprisingly getting some offense in. I thought this was going to be a straight up squash for Axel. Also, what the fuck is Axel's ring gear all about? Those shorts have got to go. Looks like he should be fighting for some backyard wrestling federation in those bad boys. Towards the end, Mr. Irrelevant seems in control of the match, then Neville starts to mount a comeback, hitting some strikes, a suplex, and finally the Red Arrow to pick up the win. Darren Young and Bob Backlund are discussing Young's recent Intercontinental title loss at Battleground. Backlund starts to give a motivational speech when he's interrupted by Goldust and R-Truth, who are still playing Pokemon Go. Goldust says, "Don't move, Bob, there's a Jigglypuff right under your bow tie." Backlund then goes mad and screams at Goldust and Truth to get out. He continues his motivational speech. Darren Young calmly says, "You got it, coach," as Backlund screams at him. Christ, the chemistry between Young and Backlund in this segment was awful. What a terrible pairing. I remember not being interested at all when these two were paired up back in 2016, and watching this back I can see why. Tom Phillips is interviewing Charlotte Flair and her protege Dana Brooke before Flair's title match against Sasha Banks. Phillips says earlier tonight Sasha's remarks were very confident that she would be walking out as champion. Flair says that these are the facts. Last night at Battleground, Banks had a partner. Tonight, she is all alone. Charlotte says she has been leading the women's division and has evolved it into what it is today. Sasha can keep on dreaming because the reality is that tonight she is going to bow down to the Queen, and she can bank on that. Sasha Banks makes her way to the ring for our women's title match next, followed by the champion Charlotte Flair. This was a fantastic match from these two. I remember both Banks and Charlotte putting on some classics from this era when they faced each other, and this one was no exception. They both tore the house down. At one point in the match, Charlotte has Banks down on the outside. She grabs her title and gets in Banks' face, saying, "This is my title, you don't deserve this." Sasha then kicks the title out of her hand and spears her into the ring apron. Whilst the referee is distracted with Charlotte, Banks throws the title at Brooke, who catches it, which makes it look like Dana is going to attack her with it. The referee then ejects Dana Brooke from ringside. Later, Sasha has a nasty landing when she goes to hit a suicide dive on Charlotte. Ouch. Charlotte hits a natural selection on Sasha, but Banks manages to get a shoulder up before 3. Charlotte then goes to lock in a figure 4, but Sasha does an impressive counter into a Banks statement. Charlotte manages to get her foot on the rope to break the hold. Charlotte says to Banks, "You will never beat me." Then she runs at Banks, but Sasha evades and hits a backstabber into a Banks statement for the win. I'll say it again, what a match between these two. It was a pleasure to rewatch Banks and Flair battle it out for the title. Next, Braun Strowman makes his way to the squared circle. In the ring currently is James Ellsworth being interviewed by Byron Saxton. Byron asks, "What on earth are you thinking stepping foot into the ring with a monster like Braun Strowman?" Ellsworth says that having a match on Raw is a dream come true for me. I didn't know it was going to be against Braun Strowman, but if I can somehow, some way pull off the upset, because I truly believe that any man with 2 hands has a fighting chance. Byron wishes Ellsworth the best of luck. The bell rings and we're underway. Ellsworth throws a few punches at Strowman, but they have no effect. Strowman then proceeds to batter Ellsworth around the ring for a bit before hitting a reverse chokeslam for the win. I think it's great that everybody got behind Ellsworth on social media after this episode of Raw, and WWE had him come back for more. I remember really liking the stuff they did with him on SmackDown with AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose. Enzo and Big Cass come out to entertain the Pittsburgh crowd for a bit. It's not long before they're cut off by Primo and Epico, the Shining Stars. There's a tag team I forgot about. Primo and Epico say when we're done with you two, we're going to send an invitation to each and every one of you here in Pittsburgh to leave your ugly Steel City and come to Puerto Rico, the shining star of the Caribbean. Big Cass tells them that there is only one word to describe you, and he's going to spell it out for you. S-A-W-F-T, soft. It's crazy how over Enzo and Cass were. The Pittsburgh crowd are loving it. I was a massive fan of these two, and I still think it's criminal how they never won any tag team gold, not in NXT or on the main roster. They are a prime example of you don't need to be that technical in the ring to get insanely over with the fans. This match was a pretty quick one. R-Truth and Goldust turn up at one point, still on their Pokemon Go hunt, when Truth walks into the ring. This distracts Primo, who then turns around into a big boot from Big Cass, which is all that is needed to get the 3 count. Roman Reigns and Finn Bálor cross paths backstage before their main event match. Finn says,
"Good luck tonight, Roman."
Roman says,
"Good luck to you too, man."
Bálor says,
"Luck? I'm Irish. I invented luck."
Roman replies,
"Well, I'm Samoan. Nuff said."
And walks off. Christ, who wrote that segment? They shouldn't have bothered. Just let them get to the fighting in the ring. Main event time. Both Bálor and Roman make their way to the ring. This match looks like it's got Roman Reigns' name stamped all over it, as he lays the smackdown on Finn early on in the match. Finn manages to start turning things around when he avoids a drive-by from Roman, then he drop kicks Reigns into the barricade. We go to a commercial break, then when we return, Roman Reigns has regained the momentum and is in firm control. Finn starts to turn things around again and hits a coup de grace from the top rope. He goes for the cover, but only gets a 2. Bálor goes to dropkick Reigns in the corner when Roman hits him with a Superman punch. Roman goes for the pin, but Bálor gets the shoulder up just in time. Reigns goes to hit a spear, but gets caught with a sling blade by Bálor, followed by a dropkick. Finn then goes to the top rope, hits a coup de grace on Roman for the second time, and picks up the victory. After the match, as Finn Bálor is celebrating in the ring, Tom Phillips asks Roman Reigns, "Do you have anything you'd like to say?" Roman says he hopes Finn Bálor will beat Seth Rollins at SummerSlam and win the Universal Championship, because I want to face him again, and I respect that dude. It's crazy looking back how hard they pushed Bálor during this era under Vince McMahon. I mean, I would have thought that McMahon wouldn't have given a shit about Bálor and all his NXT hype, but I guess he did. As most of you will know, Finn Bálor went on to defeat Seth Rollins for the Universal title at SummerSlam on August 21st, but would have to relinquish the title due to an injury he picked up during that match. This must have been proper shit for Bálor, having to give up the title and be out of action for half a year, knowing the company was giving him this monster push. As for the first episode of Raw under Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon, I think it was a huge success. This episode was entertaining and had some absolute banger matches. Anyway, that does it for this video. Let me know your thoughts on the Foley Stephanie era of Monday Night Raw in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.